Welcome everyone, I'm here with Gryffix, isethoriginal, and with Red Frog, and we're going to listen to the White Privilege song and
cringe together.
Yes, pretty much. So let's start.
Hi there. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to talk about an issue. It's an important issue.
Oh shit.
It's something we need to fix.
Tell me when to stop it.
It starts when you go to school, an innocent young child.
Stop.
Even though you're out.
This guy can so not sing.
Or play the guitar.
Continue?
Yeah.
Can we maybe first get some whiskey or something?
Yeah, sure, you can get something to drink. I called you in rather randomly.
I'm gonna need a lot of coke to digest this.
So.
That fade.
Do you even know
that's
each
bad.
other? Iseth, Red Frog, Gryffix?
No.
No,
I
Makes it
don't
better.
think so.
Makes it better. Let's continue.
And you're always running wild. If you're white, you'll likely get the benefit of doubt. Other kids with darker skin won't get the same allowances.
Allowances!
Yeah?
Yeah,
I'm
this is
sh-
such nonsense. This is such
Yeah.
nonsense. Like, this guy has no bloody idea what he's talking about. Send that guy to where I was living when I was a kid. And let's see how much he does well with his bloody skin's color there.
Yeah, and besides, I dare say Will Smith's kids got a much bigger allowance than I ever did.
Yeah, it's not very fair to assume that just because someone is a certain skin color, they must have had it easy. I mean, I have lived in poor neighborhoods, and I've, seen some of these crappy schools, and all people that were going there were just poor white children, and I can't say that they were privileged in any sort of way. I'd say
Yeah.
that class says way more than skin color.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
It's even worse when you make a song about it.
Mm.
Yeah, because then it's wrong and gay.
Yeah.
I suggest this guy should visit the friggin' Moscow train station at midnight.
I suggest nobody
No,
do
Moscow
that.
is too safe. Moscow is too safe. Send him to South Africa. And let him live there for a while. He will have a lot of fun there.
Oh yeah. Somalia.
Oh, he might actually
Oh, yeah.
enjoy it, the faggot. Okay, yeah, you can see in his face and the way he expresses himself that he really wants to get ravaged.
Oh sure, you know he doesn't have any balls or they died out around puberty.
Shall we continue with this ridiculous thing?
Oh yeah.
White privilege, white privilege, white privilege, it's kinda problematic.
Oh man.
When in middle school, I think that's what you call it in America, England, I was having issues with a kid, a black kid, who was just, picking fights with all other students, and who got away with it every time because they didn't want to get, in trouble with racism and shit like that. So, he was held to a different standard for that reason than the rest of us.
How many-
Can't say I'm privileged there.
How many kids in that case in Britain where a Pakistani grooming gang sexually abused 12-year-old, 11-year-old and 13-year-old
For-
girls? How many kids were they?
The Rotterdam case?
Yes, the Rotherham case, yeah.
1400, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's Paki privilege to get away with that.
Yeah.
I used to live in poverty, work a shit job. How much did my cock protect me from that? How much...
Not
oh yeah,
one
that's
bit.
male privilege, sorry. Confusing things. How much did my skin color protect me from that?
Not one bit.
Exactly. Let's continue.
And white privilege, white privilege. If you're white, then you have it.
If you're If you're white and you have it. This guy really can't sing. If
Well,
you
I
have
really
it-
can't.
By the quality of the lyrics. I mean, if it was at least, good, but I can't even say that. It's a shame.
It's cringe, 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 pure.
You know,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. He tries
And then
to like virtue signal, and he does it in a manner that he just looks so pathetic that you nearly want to be pitying him. That's how horrible he is.
But you
you
can see the delusions in him that he thinks he's going to be some really great protest song writer or whatever.
His face.
And the only thing you really want to do is wipe that smarmy smile up his face.
Does he live with his
I'm
mum?
a woman, I can. Probably. In her basement.
Yeah.
And I can actually hit him. You know, I'm a woman. I'm the oppressed class. He can't hit back.
Oh wait, that's a double bed in the background, so it might be his apartment.
Unless
No, he's just like, super, upper white privileged, and he's like so white privileged that he actually happened to live with a, higher
Double-
class family, and they actually have the cash and the space to put in a double bed.
Well, maybe his wife allowed him to use the room that she and her boyfriend use.
No way is he married. No one would even marry him for money. He's probably still a virgin.
No, but Kraut, I have seen here in Canada especially, tons and tons of people who just happen to have a double bed for single people.
Yeah, that's true. I sleep on a triple bed, actually.
I sleep on a sofa because I just enjoy it more. I fucking hate my bed. It's hard as shit. But anyway, let's continue.
But the fact that he has a bed is privilege. When I was living in Warsaw, we all had sofas to sleep on. Sofas were our beds.
you're Polish?
No, I just was living in Poland.
Oh, okay. I've been to Warsaw. But that's not related to
My
this.
grandfather used to own the place. But anyway, different story. Let's continue.
Scary stories about what, Kraut's grandparents did.
Yeah.
Lots of scary stories.
Yeah, kind of in the same way that, like, people of darker skin colors have disadvantages based on their skin
People with darker skin colors have disadvantages. But he's going to say based on
color.
skin color.
White people have an advantage, sort of on the flip side, right?
Based on skin color. You have an advantage based on skin color. You're the master
Look
race.
at his smuggy face. Look at this.
Yeah.
It's actually usually when you hear songs like this, they start with the point of white privilege and then they illustrate that point throughout their song. This is just a song in which he repeats it. He just says advantage, disadvantage, and that's the entire lyric. He doesn't even try to back it up or come up with an argument for it so far.
And he has the amazing chorus of white privilege, white privilege.
It sounds so much better when you sing it,
White privilege. No, and look at his face. He looks a little
Yeah.
bit cucky right now, a little bit whiny, whimpery.
He looks
Oh
like he
yeah,
doesn't
punch him
get
in the
laid.
arm just lightly and it's going to be, "Hey, mommy!"
Just give him a job where he has to, like, clean up a toilet or a kitchen at, like, 2 in the morning. And he'll
Or
be
a dog's,
crying. Yeah.
or a dog's litter box.
Yeah, something like that. I can't see him doing that. He would probably complain for 3 hours. Anyway.
So it's our responsibility as white people to use that for good.
I want to see that again. To use that for good. Come on. Let's smile.
To use that for good.
The jump he makes this for good. And the smile.
Yeah,
Right?
I think white people are advantaged. I think black people are disadvantaged. Let's use it for good. The grinch he has looks to me like this kind of people who on the surface seem good people, and then they have like all kinds of dead little babies inside of their cupboard.
Oh, he definitely
That's
has
the kind
dad-
of grin.
People like this always have daddy issues when they're male, or mummy issues when they're female. With all SJWs, as a general rule. Just take a look at Steve Chives. That guy
Oh,
basically screams, I didn't have a right, proper daddy.
Well, I think with Steve Shives, it's honestly just his wife. Because
well,
you
no,
wouldn't-
it's daddy issues with Steve. I know from someone who knows Steve Shives that Steve Shives is actually sincere. And I watched a Steve Shives video with someone who has kids, and he told me that what this guy needs is a hug from his dad. And when I look at this guy here, yes, what he needs is a hug from his dad.
If he even had one.
I don't know if this is more about skin color though, not so much daddy issues.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Probably-
this using privilege. Use your privilege. Not just deconstruct your privilege, no, use your privilege. Are black people now the white man's burden? According
No.
to this.
It's
No, but you know what? Last I checked, that white people actually did use their privilege and brought civilization to their little rat holes.
Well, it's a bit more nuanced like that than that, but
Yeah.
It may be nuanced, but now they actually have electricity. The ex-colonies.
well, I'm a history student, so I think you could have a very long debate about that. To be honest.
Okay. Let's
You know,
get
the
through this.
idea.
Let's get through this.
Sorry.
We only have 4
Yeah.
minutes left, but still.
And to try to like undo some of the decades and eons and centuries of damage that white people have done to other countries and cultures because of imperialism.
Pass. A lot of people seem to forget that when it comes down to slavery and shit like that, white people were not the only ones doing it.
Yeah.
Even black people were enslaving other black people, like rivaling tribes and villages. We were just the people that had the resources to do it rather effectively, which is sad.
I would say that we only had the resources to buy them from them because they were the ones that did the selling.
And
the
more
white man
importantly,
did
we abolished it out of our own
Exactly.
selves.
exactly.
Yeah.
The Arab slave trade, as far as I know, involved more slaves than ours.
Oh, it killed over 100 million people.
But regardless of that, it's just weird to think that the sins of the father pass on to the sons. I mean, imperialism wasn't a good thing, but I have nothing to do with that. It's like, I guess Germans nowadays have nothing to do with World War II. How long?
Yeah. Gryffix, when did the Netherlands lose Indonesia as a colony?
Well, there's actually debate about that. I think in 1945 they were officially independent, but the Netherlands recognized it like 2 years later.
So 1947.
About
So
40
it has been over for 60 years. Dutch colonialism.
Yes.
So in essence, saying that you're anti-imperialist is like saying you oppose the Roman Empire.
Mm,
Pretty
Well,
much.
that's a fact, but yeah.
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 It's like, hi, I'm Gryffix, I oppose the Weimar Republic. It's like, yeah, why?
Yeah, pretty
Where do you
much.
stands on that?
As if society hasn't evolved over the past 60 years.
Yeah.
I'm Gryffix, I oppose the Marshall Plan. It's like, okay, good for you.
Oh, but that's not only that. There's still people who are freaked out by the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union hasn't been existing for over 20 years.
Well, I guess that might be due to the fact that some of the philosophy behind it is still around, like communism, although it's not very prevalent where I live, so...
Yeah, well, it's not in Russia, so...
Did Iseth drop out, or did you just go and get a drink?
No, I'm just listening. I'm listening and I try to recover while you talk.
Okay, let's continue
No, because
playing it
this
then.
guy genuinely seems a nuisance to me. He really does.
Mm.
He really is.
He's probably
He's a pumped little boy.
Yeah.
somewhat sorry for these people, because I feel like they're probably, if you meet them, like nice people that mean well, but that are just big softies and sort of retards.
Oh, I would say the way he's acting, he's actually very full of himself and sees himself as this great white knight that shall liberate the oppressed classes.
I think he also just tries full of an act with that entire video, you know, and I don't...
But it also shows what the problem is, because this guy has nothing to do. He has never seen hardship in his life. He has never seen trouble in his life, really bad one. And he's sitting there, not knowing what to do with his time, wanting to be like this great, huge, gigantic hero, and not being able to do jack shit.
All he does is sing a song, a ridiculous song. White privilege, white privilege. Yes. Very professional.
This privilege provides you with some perks that go unseen. You might have an advantage over your fellow human beings.
I like to repeat myself, I like to repeat myself. I don't have any points to make, I just like to repeat myself.
He just makes the same point over and over again. But it's like, it's the shittiest type of perk. The type of perk that you don't see, it goes unnoticed. I mean, I'm so fucking privileged that I don't even notice. That's how privileged I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's the glorious prophet of noticing privilege. He notices. He has the truth that none of you have.
But I
Sounds
bet if
so
you
like a
actually, I'm sure that if you ask him what that privilege is, he won't be able to point it out.
Well, he will just say your skin.
Mm,
And
yeah.
imperialism from, I don't know, 200 fucking years ago. The slave
sure.
trade that has been abolished for 150 years and some other crap. Yeah.
The police don't treat you poorly or assume that you're on crack.
I've been treated like shit by a police officer before. You?
Yeah.
If I may just jump in here for a second, I was living for a while at the north of Italy, which borders to Austria. This place is called South Tyrol, Südtirol,
Südtirol.
and there you have a lot of people who speak German. And if you happen to be one of those who speak German better than Italian, and you speak German to the police officer, you have problems. You get in trouble. Not because of the way you look, not of the skin color, because if you're black and you speak Italian, you're perfectly fine. But if you happen to speak German, you're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, Gryffix, have you ever gotten into trouble with the police, or are the Dutch police as cocky as they seem?
Well, I don't know. We don't really have issues with police brutality or, so I'd say no. Yeah, I don't know. I am also very young. I mean, I'm 20, so who knows what will come. Maybe I'll completely derail in a few years. Never say never.
My experience wasn't strictly with brutality, but I remember when I got a ticket from one policeman for speeding, and he was just in this kind of smarmy, superior way, like he had some privilege. I mean, just write me the ticket, okay? Don't act like you're God because you can.
That's the thing about police anywhere in this world. You can run into an arsehole or you can run into a good cop. You're
Yeah.
more likely to run into a good cop. But yeah.
Unless me.
And the example Iseth gave is probably one of the best in northern Italy. Let's listen, get through this. So somehow.
Unlike your friends who happen to be black.
Happen to be black.
I'm sorry, I don't believe he has black friends.
No, look at his face that he pulls. Ugh, black. Ugh. I used to fuck a black woman. What about you? You probably never even was close to a woman ever in his life.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah, and it certainly doesn't have any kind of black friends. I mean, look at how pampered he is. Certainly
Yeah.
it never hangs around any kind of place where black people would hang around in the United States. Not to be more stereotypical, because there's still, somewhat of a wealth disadvantage. I don't think that he, who was probably raised in some white, posh suburb, ever went to a place where black people would live. Most black people in the United States.
Yeah. I
Maybe
bet-
he thinks that he's just absolutely awesome because he tips the black waitress much more. That's all he knows.
Yeah,
Probably.
let's continue.
White people made the world shitty by thinking if it's good for me, then white European democracy should be the only thing that fits them. But white imperialism, it turns out, isn't beneficial to people of a skin color other than the shade of peach that we call white, which is sort of a misnomer because it's not really peach, but that's kind of like how we call people black, but really their skin isn't black. It's like sort of like a brown color. Anyway, this is dumb.
Ba-dum-dish.
Yeah, he just summed up his whole song.
Yeah.
I mean, what was his point before he started the incoherent rambling?
Something about
European
democracy.
that European democracy is shitty according to him.
Well,
Bravo.
You know how you would help the black community in the United States? Well, first off, there is an increasingly larger middle class in the United States, a black one. Even though overall things are on the decline. You know what would really help them? By treating them like equal human beings.
not like victims.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Aside of that, sorry.
Yeah.
That actually only gives the reverse effect because they become more dependent and they actually feel victimized because everyone's constantly telling them they are victims.
I told this countless times probably already that I used to have a black girlfriend and she used to call African Americans fake African whiners.
Good one.
So yeah.
A person of color just
Buy a pop filter. You know, if I remove my pop filter, I sound somewhat different, do I? Buy a pop filter.
Yeah.
It helps with recording. Just saying.
I have one too, but I think he would just blast right through it, to be honest.
Could be.
Actually, he has a pop filter because you can see he has one of those foamy ones, but they're shit.
Yeah.
won't get all the perks. And when you don't notice, you'll seem like a jerk. Don't worry if you want to, there's some ways you can help by giving up your advantage to help somebody else. It'd be good. It's a good idea. But it's white privilege. It takes a village to train children to realize they're different, and white privilege.
They're different.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he wants. He wants segregation all over again,
Yeah.
actually. He
Awesome.
doesn't want equality.
It sounds a lot like the kind of stuff my grandfather was taught at school.
Yeah.
You know, this song is so obnoxious that it makes my dog growl.
It's very telling.
Yeah, no, later when you re-listen to the tape, see if you can hear the dog out, because somewhere in the background you hear this grrrr.
My cat actually fell asleep.
Let's get
It's very-
through this. Well, yeah, Gryffix.
At first he says that you have to use your advantage to help others, and now it's get rid of your advantage. And
Okay, I want to see him give up his apartment, his money, giving it all to some poor black person and go live on the street himself.
He won't.
I know he won't.
He prefers
know he
singing. He prefers singing in his mum's basement.
Oh, yeah.
It makes me livid that we're not finished with white privilege.
We're not finished. We need a final solution.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to throw that in.
all living with white privilege. We're all living with white privilege. White privilege.
Stop whispering.
Cock.
You know, does he get off on it? Look at his face.
Probably.
Well, you can see the delusions in his face, in his eyes. He thinks he's this amazing voice of sanity and reason, and that he's going to guide us all to the light.
Boy.
Yeah,
Talk
yeah,
up.
they say there is a Jesus born every 5 minutes.
Hmm. And then a Napoleon.
Okay. And how many Napoleons marched on Russia?
Thanks, guys.
Fuck off.
I mean, white privilege is a really serious issue. I wrote it down.
Besides laughing.
Did he just, white privilege is a serious issue.
Yeah, he did.
He laughed at his own fucking ideas.
Yeah,
That's really telling.
yeah.
But even,
And the way you look at his eyes, it's just like he smoked pot before doing this.
Yeah,
Even-
probably.
even if white people would be privileged, I don't like the angle from which people look at this. You know, if someone is often discriminated against, then you shouldn't beat white people into feeling just as miserable as the oppressed person. You should instead try to stop discrimination, you know, if you want to tackle inequality of any kind. So I do think, even if this is true, they're doing it the wrong way.
The emancipators owe nothing to the emancipated.
Yeah, it's like saying, stop slavery, enslave white people too. It's like, no, it's the wrong way to go about it.
Try explaining that to Black Hitler. I'm pretty sure this guy subscribed to Black Hitler, by the way. I'll have to look it up later.
Probably. I actually want to hear Black Hitler talk about the final solution.
I think he probably did. I have to look through his videos at one point. Let's see if he keeps giggling on about his views.
Song about it, to kind of talk about it, and just because, I don't know, I like writing dumb songs. That's what I...
Yeah, you admit that.
Can I just jump in here?
Yeah?
Can it be that this guy is like the token white guy that Black Hitler had once in his video?
That is actually a possibility.
Because he looks very similar.
We'll have to. You'll have to send me the video later, and I'll translate it into German.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you told us that it was going to be a shitty video, like the first 5 seconds, we would have quit. And he comes to that now at the end. It's too late, mate.
He should have started off with that, with an introduction. I made this shitty video after smoking 3 bong heads because I am too much of a coward to do it sober.
No shit. Of course, he didn't drink alcohol. He wouldn't stomach it.
Pretty much.
Sorry. Yeah.
Let's end this. We're almost through. Almost through.
I do on my channel. So, I'm gonna put some links down in the description to some articles. You can read more about white privilege and what it means and how white people can hopefully do a better job of, sort of disseminating that advantage to other people. There's some really interesting stuff, from an article. Well, you'll see it down there, but just click the link in the description. It's good stuff.
Well, I will post the link to his video in the description.
Oh god, he's wearing that faggy Cosby Christmas sweater. Oh.
Do any of you have any final words on this shit?
Yes.
I'm
He should go out from his mom's basement, go into a black neighborhood, and finally get in touch with the real human beings. Pretty please.
And quit his World of Warcraft subscription.
Yeah.
If you're going to do a video like this in which you complain about white privilege, then I'd at least wanted some arguments, you know, or some examples. But this song, if you listen to it again, which please don't, all it is just there's white privilege and like advantages and disadvantages and more white privilege. That's just the entire song.
And I have all those privileges I'm talking about, but of course I'm not gonna get rid of them.
Yeah, and aside of that, you know, it's like he says, yeah, we have like these white privileges. He doesn't even mention which kind of white privileges we're talking about.
Sure.
And he has the most obnoxious way to present the fact that apparently we have white privilege. I mean,
The most
seriously.
annoying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't sing for shit. It's
Can't
pretty obvious.
can't play for shit either.
Thank you for spending 31 minutes of your time to go through this with me.
Oh, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, feels like the middle-aged torture chambers, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, I just like to laugh at these idiots.
Yeah.
And on that note, auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Tschüss.
Do swidania.
Do svidania.